He is both prophet and pusher, and he is a walk-in contradiction who is partly truth and partly fiction. Significantly, his searching entails failure as he takes every wrong direction on his lonely way back home. This depiction is typical in that it fetishizes Cash for being a paradox. I wish to explore an important question. What is the allure of this image of Cash as a walking contradiction, and what is its cultural work? I argue that Cash's corpus and image illuminate key foundational contradictions in the history of American thought, particularly through his fraught constructions of a Southern white working-class masculinity. Cash's persona brings disparate, or even opposed ideologies into close, symbiotic relationship with one another. This artist's iconic image, in fact, depends on his ability to stage the idea of irresolvable ambivalence, to illuminate how that model of cultural ambivalence, what we might call a both-and idea, is an important paradigm for U.S. popular music and for American identity. Cash embodied the tensions in the American character without resolving them, and in doing so, he encouraged listeners to engage with our most fundamental national paradoxes, from the violence of a free democracy founded on slavery to the whipsaw between individual rights and national identity. Cash once said to an audience, "I thank God for freedoms we've got in this country. I cherish them and treasure them, even the right to burn the flag." As some booed, he went on, "We also got the right to bear arms, and if you burn my flag, I'll shoot you. But I'll shoot you with a lot of love, like a good American." At times, Cash sounded like both sides of the Toby Keith-Dixie Chicks debate over the role of patriotism and social protest in popular music. But what he does is to see the irony in and push adamantly against false logic and false opposition, in this case involving the vagaries of natural rights, where one person's idea of individual freedom can restrict another's. His comment is not simply perverse, it also limns American tautologies. Cash illuminates key issues at the crossroads of American studies and popular music studies because he is an exemplary case study for popular music's projections of authenticity and country music's formulations of race, gender, and a Southern working-class culture. Cash builds his version of authenticity through equivocating models of Southern white working-class masculinity, thus elucidating changing paradigms of authenticity. Moreover, his conceptual rubric of irresolvable contradictions becomes part of his projection of authenticity. Through this dynamic, he represents major social tensions in their intricacy, framing them as troubling, true, and distinctively American. His work helps explicate popular music's role in society because what the music does here is engage emotionally with such ideological issues. Cash also offers models for thinking about how popular culture can question traditional categorical binaries, tradition versus social change, establishment versus anti-authoritarian, conservative versus progressive, patriot versus traitor, morally righteous versus fallen, pure versus impure. His work exposes the problems with such rigid categories, whether political or musical. In this book, the trope of contradiction is analyzed for how it permeates the social construction of Cash. Historicized textual analysis is combined with a discussion of relevant theoretical issues in popular music, American, and media studies. Drawing on the interdisciplinary approaches of those fields, my concern is with interrogating how this popular culture both shapes and reflects U.S. ideologies. The methodology involves literary studies techniques of textual analysis and close reading, as well as the discipline's historicist approaches.